and welcome to Set Her Days with Shalimar J. I am your host, Shalimar Johnson, and I'm so excited to feel so much better on this morning. Oh my gosh, guys, it has been, what do they call it, an uphill battle? But to God be the glory. For those of you who may not be aware of what it is exactly that I'm talking about, I am a COVID survivor, and I never thought that I really would have to say that, but I'm glad that I can say that. And I kind of feel a little bit guilty because I know that everyone does not have that testimony, but to God be the glory. That process, that experience was like none that I have ever experienced in my life. I thank God that I am able to come before you all. I'm not 100%, guys. Usually I'm all glammed up and everything, but listen, I'm here. It's still me, lashes without or with, eyebrows done up or not. It is still Shalimar J. And, I guess too, a part of that is just kind of letting others understand that it doesn't have to be all of that. It's nothing wrong with getting yourself glammed up. It's nothing wrong with making yourself a little extra presentable. But I'm just glad to be alive, y'all. Listen, and I mean that. I could talk about it forever, but that is not what today's show is about. So let's get to what today's show is about. So while I was recovering from COVID, I actually had the opportunity to sit back, read some novels, and complete the novel process that I had to complete for the book that I wrote. Went through the editing piece and all of that, which took some time because what I now know as far as editing is concerned, it is very tedious, especially when you want it to be right. You know what I'm saying? Some people will submit their manuscript, which for those who don't know is the actual book itself, to the editor. The editor will edit it and they'll just accept it and look at it and be like, okay, the editor did it. Whatever they did has to be right. Let's go ahead and print. But I took time to go back. The editor that I chose, she took the time to make sure that I went over it. She is a phenomenal editor. And so I am going to give her a shout out on the show today as well. So if you are an individual who is a rising author and you're looking for an editor, she is your go-to person. It's an investment involved, but it is well worth it in the end, especially because she's going to make sure that it's right. So today's focus is highlighting um, women in business, entrepreneurs, authors, and so forth. And as I was saying, while I was in recovery mode for a few weeks, I had the opportunity to read some and to order some books. And one of the books that I ordered was this one right here, which is titled When the Little Girl is Healed, the Woman Will Show Up. And this book was written by Marilyn Evans. Well, let me just read the back, of the book. So it reads, you will learn from reading my book how to heal from molestation and how to forgive, which will give you the peace you are seeking. You will heal from the inside out from sexual assaults. God will release you from that spirit of depression, anger, and suicidal thoughts. He will show you how to heal physically, mentally, and spiritually, but you have to be willing to give it to God and watch the blessings flow in your life. Watch God give you peace, healing, and understanding that you need when you give Him your hurt and your pain. When you do this, you will learn how to make your faith stronger and not lean on your own understanding, and how to distinguish between God's voice and the enemy's voice. I have learned that sometimes we stand in our own way. We are our own worst critic and we hold ourselves back unknowingly. I encourage you to listen with your heart and not your emotions. There's another piece right here that's just about the author. I'm going to read that to you. About the author. Marilyn Evans is a daughter, sister, aunt, and friend. Her nieces, nephews, and her godchildren motivate her to be the best she can be. She graduated from Robert E. Lee High School in Montgomery, Alabama in 1994 and graduated college in 1999 with an associate degree in computer information science. She is also a United States Air Force veteran. She has worked for the United States Postal Service as a city letter carrier for 18 years. Her healing doesn't have a look. It is not magical or pretty. Her healing was hard and exhausting. She encourages others to allow themselves to go through it and thank God at the same time. Marilyn Evans. When the little girl is healed, the woman will show up. Listen, y'all. This is definitely a book that I believe anyone should read, regardless of whether or not you've been a victim of or experienced assault, sexual assault, childhood molestation, or any of that. Because the when I became a mother and an educator, I realized that there are signs that are apparent in children which will alert you to certain things that could potentially be going on in their lives, because children don't always talk. And it isn't always because they don't want to tell you. Sometimes they don't know how to. It's like, I got this stuff going on, but I don't know how to articulate this thing, right?